I want to know how you told everyone that you were pregnant. I told my parents before I told my sister, and I think we were bowling, and I asked her what she was going to be doing 9 months from now, if she could babysit or something like that. And she got all excited when she figured out what I meant. But that was really cute. And I know with my second one, I had got a shirt that said "I'm the big sister" on it, and I had her wear it when my husband came home from work one day, and of course he flipped out when he read it and put two and two together. And I remember I took her over to my in-laws' house and she wore that shirt. I can't remember if I went to my parents' house. I don't think so. I think it was just my in-laws and she wore it there. But that was a really cute idea. It's really good to use if you have a sibling and they can wear "I'm a big brother, I'm a big sister." It's a really cute idea.
One that I was pregnant. Let's just be honest here. My first pregnancy, I was not married when I got pregnant, so it was kind of a really difficult time in my life. I was 18, and what we did first is we told me and my husband told our best friends. You know, we sat them down, and they didn't believe us at first, and we kind of had to convince them that yes, I was pregnant. And then the next people we told were his parents. I was terrified to tell my parents. So we told his parents next, and his parents actually, his mom thought that we were joking because my husband and his friends had played so many pranks on her and her husband and my husband's sister that she really thought that we were joking when we went over there and told her that I was pregnant and that we decided, that we were going to get married and everything. So my sister-in-law actually said that she wouldn't believe it until she saw pee on a stick. So that was kind of, first pregnancy, and we told my parents. We drove out there and sat down with them and told them, and that was a really hard conversation to have. And the second pregnancy, and obviously at that point we were married. I had called my mom. They were living in the Philippines at the time, so she wasn't even here when I found out I was pregnant. So I called her and told her, and I think we just sat our friends down and told them. We didn't make a big surprise, big deal out of it, And then with my husband's parents, we took his mom outside to tell her because we were afraid she was going to kill us. She didn't, at that, we're still, we're young, and, some people just don't think that, we need to have another kid or anything like that, but, it was what we thought was best. So we took her outside to tell her so that she wouldn't kill us, because we figured she wouldn't kill us in public, but actually she was okay with it, and she was very excited, and so that's how we told people that we were pregnant.
Our estimated due date was January 4th, so it was right around New Year's, and I printed out this picture of a New Year's baby, and I put on top of it 1409, I had to think for a second, and had a picture of a New Year's baby on there, and I slipped it inside of a magazine. And so I went over to my mom and dad's, and my sister was there too because she knew what I was getting ready to do, and they had gone to eat or something. They came back, and I handed her this magazine, and I had this that piece of paper sticking out of it with the picture on it, and I was like, I brought this magazine to show you. She's like, okay. And I was like, look at this one page though, I marked this page, and she was like, blew it off, no big deal. And I was like, Mom, look at this page. So she opens it up, and she's like, what is this? I'm like, what is it? And she's like, it's a baby. I'm like, what's the date? She's like, 1409. I was like, what do you think that means? She was like, she goes, I thought you were taking birth control. So anyway, I was like, Mom. But after it all wore off, she was really excited, and my dad was too, and all that. And then it was really close to Mother's Day, so we drove to my husband's parents' house, and we went to church with his dad and his stepmom, and I gave her a Mother's Day card, but it actually was for a grandmother, so when she saw it, she knew that that's what it meant. And then we went and saw his mom too, and gave her the same card, and she was really, really excited to have a grandbaby. So there you go.
Hi, this is Morgan from morgandayscecil.com, and today Desiree is asking us to share how we told our folks, or how we told people we were pregnant. And this this is by no means a short story for me. Yeah, how you told everyone you were pregnant. Not a short story at all, but I will try to keep it short. Basically, when I found out I was pregnant, I wasn't married. I was in photography school. I had a gazillion loans. It was definitely the last thing I ever thought was about to ready to happen to me. And truth be told, I had been having sex for 10 years. Never did it ever lead to pregnancy. So there you go. Sex leads to pregnancy, folks. Anyway, when I found out I was pregnant, I kept it a secret for about a month from my mom and dad. And it was a really hard thing to do for me to tell them. Anyway, so what I did, I was living in Santa Barbara at the time, called my mom on the phone and told her I had something to tell her. And I needed to tell her in person. And they lived in Portland, Oregon at the time, so it meant that she would need to fly down to see me, and so I could tell her in person. So she flew down the next day, expecting the worst, expecting me to tell her I was in a gang, I murdered somebody. I don't know what she expected me to tell her. But what gave it away is that when we were at dinner, she asked if I'd like a glass of wine, and I said she knew. Anyway, so I told her I was pregnant, and she knew that I couldn't just call my dad up on the phone and tell him. So the next day, we drove however many hours, 1,000 miles from Santa Barbara, California to Portland, Oregon, so I could tell my dad in person that I was pregnant, which I was a daddy's girl, and I was scared to death to let him down in any way and to disappoint him. I had graduated college, I had gotten a master's degree, I was studying photography now, like I was doing my life, like I should be doing my life, and this was completely threw a wrench into things, and so I was scared to death to tell him. But we were standing in the kitchen, and I said, Dad, I have something to tell you, and I said, I'm pregnant. And in that moment, I saw him make a decision. He said, he could have been, oh, what are you doing? You're ruining your life. But instead, his eyes just lit up and said, I hope it's a boy. And it was. About 7 months later, Luca was born. So there you go. The short and sweet of my pregnancy story.